Hi, I'm Kira. Welcome to my channel and to this Yoga for Hospitality Workers class. I'm so excited to be able to offer this class to you because I have been in your shoes. Literally, I worked in the service industry for 10 years before I taught yoga full time, and my body remembers those long shifts. I remember feeling so tight and tired in my legs and my feet after being on them for 8-10 hours, and also feeling just stiffness in my spine and my wrists. So if any of these things are something you're experiencing, I have got some yoga to help. You won't really need anything for this class, just a yoga mat could be useful, perhaps blocks if you have them. And then we are going to end today with a restorative pose called legs up the wall. So if you don't have a wall, just have a couch or a chair that you can flop your legs up onto at the end and put your feet up. All right, let's get to it. Okay, let's start with warming up our wrists. Bring your palms together to prayer and interlace your fingers, and then start to find some circular movement here with the hands. When I was a server, I think I always had wrist pain, right? Because you have a dominant hand, go the other way, and then you're balancing those trays, and it's just kind of awkward, and it's a repetitive motion. So we're going to give the wrist some love here. Good. Now keep the fingers interlaced, but separate the heel of the hands, and try to find a wave-like motion with the hands. There we go. And then without thinking too much about it, reverse the direction. If you think about it, it breaks your brain. You can't think, you just got to do it. Whew, I got some crackly wrists here today. Okay, that's enough of that. Keep the fingers interlaced, press the palms away from you. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out through your mouth. Inhale, press up, lift up. Sigh it out. Let the arms come down. And then we'll take eagle arms. So hook one arm underneath the other, doesn't matter which. And perhaps you can double wrap here, eagle arms. If that's not available, you can also just grab your shoulders. But do start to pull your elbows forward so you feel a stretch between the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the elbows, look up, arch your spine. Exhale, lower the elbows, round your spine. So a little cat and cow here with our eagle. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift. Spine arches. Exhale, lower. Spine rounds. Lift and then untangle the arms. Switch sides. Opposite arm underneath. Inhale, lift. Spine arches. Exhale, lower. Spine rounds. Two more. Rinsing out the shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open the arms, hands by your sides. Simple seated side bend here. So bring your right hand down to the ground, reach up and over. Keeping your left seat heavy on the earth, relax your head and neck. And then take the lifted hand and reach it on a diagonal. So you start to feel this in your low and middle back probably. That sort of flank area of the spine. You got to know your cuts of meat if you're a server. So visualize where that is in your body. Take one more breath. And then inhale, lift back up. Exhale, twist to your right, left hand to the right knee. Nice and easy. Lengthening up, gentle twist. And then come back to center and switch. Whew, I already feel that different on the two sides. Bring your left hand down, reach up and over. Side bend, relaxing head and neck. And then start to reach the lifted hand on the diagonal there, away from you. Just breathing and feeling into where that lands for you. One more breath in. Breath out. Inhale, lift, sit tall. Exhale, twist to the left. So right hand to the left knee. Sitting up tall and twisting. And then unwind. Time to give our feet some love. I know when I was waiting tables, my feet were crying. They needed so much love. So this might be a little unfamiliar to you, but I think it'll be worth the exploration. Have bare feet for this. You're going to shake hands with your foot. So pick up a foot and then thread your fingers between your toes. Now really try to get down there to the foot. So you're wedging the fingers between the toes, making space. Once you grab hold, just start to move forward and back, massaging and stretching your foot. And then start to take some circles here. Lubricating the ankle joint, go the other way. Very nice. And then let's move this into the hip. So keep hold of the foot, bring your free hand to your knee, sit tall, and then just start to rock your leg like a baby. Nice and slow and gentle. Just getting things moving down there in the hip. And then release. Before we just dive into the second side, take a look at your feet. You may even notice that one foot is a different color. Wild. Getting some blood flow back down to the feet because they could use it. So, other side, we're gonna shake hands with the foot. Really get the toes down in there best you can. You know, after a long shift being on your feet, your toes are probably fused together. So try to get the blood flow back. Start to move forward and back. And then take this into circles. And then keep a hold of the foot, other hand to the knee, sitting up, manual hip opening. So just moving the leg side to side, opening the hip. Very good. And then release. And just give yourself a good old-fashioned foot massage. Thumbs to the soles of the feet. And just sending your feet the message that you care, that you hear them. Give your feet some love. And then just take a simple forward fold over your legs, Baddha Konasana. We won't be here too long. Just pause where it feels like enough. Breathe into it. And then walk your hands back. Bring your spine tall. And bring the soles of your feet to the ground with bent knees. We'll take a seated cat and cow. So grab onto the backs of your legs, the backs of your thighs specifically. Inhale, arch your spine, look up. Exhale, round your spine, lean back. Inhale, arch your spine. Exhale, round your spine. So take this a few more times. Now you'll notice the pelvis here rocking forward and back. So I like this even more than cat cow on hands and knees. It's a full spine experience. Keep breathing through it. Last one, wherever you are, and then sit tall and swing your legs behind you and come onto all fours. Tabletop position. Let's move downstairs into the hips, my friends. So step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for lizard lunge rocks. Now, if your legs are tight, you might opt to use blocks in this. And from here, you'll sink down into the hips and then shift back and straighten your front leg any amount. Flexing your front foot towards your face, hamstring stretch. Big inhale there. Exhale, rebend and lunge. And we'll just go back and forth a few times. Move with the rhythm of your breath. You know, and when you're in a service role, you're quite literally always serving others before yourself. So start to shift the focus back to you. You know, if it feels good to linger longer in one of these shapes, just give yourself that gift. You gotta fill your cup to be able to give to others. Okay, next time you come to that lizard lunge, let's just switch sides. So we'll switch on over to the other leg, sinking into that lunge and then shifting back. Front leg straightens, foot flexes back and forth. And don't be preoccupied with, straightening that front leg all the way. Just work with your range of motion. As long as you're breathing and paying attention to yourself, you're doing it right. Let's take one more. We'll meet up in that lunge and make our way to downward facing dog. So you could lose those blocks if you use them. Lift your hips up and back and start to pedal through your legs. Bend one knee and then the other. Maybe flutter the lips. Shaking the head. And then drop the knees down. Find child's pose. Knees as wide as your mat. Big toes together. Forehead to the earth. Or block child's pose. And here in child's pose, we'll add some shoulder and upper back love. We'll take thread the needle here in child's pose. So lengthen your arms long, look forward, and then thread your right arm underneath your left. You're still in child's pose, right cheek to the mat. And now we've got a nice child's pose with this added element of twisting and shoulder opening. Take one more breath. And then extend the arms long. Let's switch. Left arm underneath. Thread the needle. And then come on back to your child's pose. Walk the hands back. Lean forward so you can tuck your toes, and then you're going to pop up into a froggy squat. So you're on the balls of your feet, knees are lifted. Just see how this feels. It's a little reminiscent of, leapfrog when you were a kid. And just move side to side with the knees, letting that open the hips and all the joints of the legs. And then we'll come into a forward fold. So hips will lift, feet will be parallel. You can bend the knees, heavier head. We're just gonna go back and forth between those two shapes. So bend your knees, drop down, little froggy squat, and then back to your forward folds. Just moving through your range of motion. So not being obsessed with touching the toes. Just leaning into what feels therapeutic, what feels good to you. You deserve it. Okay, next time you find that forward fold, take a ragdoll, grab for opposite elbows, heavier head. It's like there's a weight on the top of your head. Lengthening your skull down and stretching your spine. Take one more breath. And then slowly roll on up, one vertebrae at a time. Very nice. Okay, so now that we're standing, you might want to grab your yoga blocks if you find those useful. If it's challenging to be in a forward fold, you might want to have these guys with you here. So standing tall, let's come into a side bend. So stretch your arms up, right hand grabs your left wrist. Start to find a side bend to your right. And then step your left foot behind your right, kind of like a curtsy. So the knees are bent, you're leaning to the right, breathing into your left side. Take one more breath in, breath out, come back up. Now from here, cross your left ankle in front of your right, forward fold with an IT band stretch. So you might bring your hands to your blocks or just dangle. Cross ankle, forward fold. Whenever I was on my feet a lot, this was one of my favorite things to do when I was refilling water bottles. I would just take this position. It's so therapeutic for the legs and the hips. Let's take one more breath. And then slowly uncross your legs. Bring your hands to your waist. On an inhale, come up. Exhale, stand tall. Release the arms by your side. And then we'll switch sides. So lift the arms up. This time, left hand grabs the right wrist. Start finding your side bend towards the left. And then step your right foot behind your left. Curtsy, side bend. Maybe you're looking up, breathing into the right side. Take one more inhale. And exhale. Slowly come up. Release the arms. Right foot crosses in front of the left foot. Cross ankle, forward fold. Here we are again. See what's going on this side. And if you like this, maybe you spread the gospel when you're at work, yeah? Maybe you do this when you're refilling water bottles or getting something from the walk-in. Your coworker will be like, what are you doing? And you'll be like, try it. It feels really good. And then the manager's like, where's my staff? Sorry, you can blame me. I'll take the calls. Let's take one more breath. And then uncross the legs. Bring the hands to the waist. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, stand tall, arms by your side. Very nice. Let's take standing camel. Open the chest, open the spine. So bring your feet hips width distance. Hands to your low back, roll the shoulders back. Lift your chest. And almost like a water fountain, think of lifting the chest as you inhale. Exhale, arc up and back. Breathe. Head can drop back if you want, but it doesn't have to. One more breath. And then come on up. Release the arms. Let's come into a shoulder stretch. Reach the arms behind your back. See if you can interlace the fingers. If that feels really tight, you could try bending the elbows or just stretching the arms back, but feel your chest really open here. Big inhale. Exhale, fold over your legs. Knees can bend. Forward fold with shoulder stretch. Feel the knuckles arcing up and over. The upper body arcing up and over the lower body. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. One more inhale. Exhale, release your hands down. And we'll take a forward fold with a twist. You could use a block or not. Bend your right knee, right hand to the block or the ground, left arm lifts. Relax your head and neck, just like a rag doll. One more inhale. And exhale, change. Left knee bends, left hand down, right arm up. It's a twist. Relax the head and the neck. One more inhale. And exhale. Forward fold. Bring the hands to the waist. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands by your side. Tadasana, mountain pose. All right, nothing better at the end of a long shift or a long week than putting your feet up. So that's what we're gonna do. This pose is called legs up the wall. You could do that against a wall if you have one. I know when I was waiting tables, I lived in a tiny apartment in New York. I didn't really have any space. So I would do my own version called legs up the couch. I have a chair here, so I'm going to show you how I do this. So you can do this on a chair, couch, or a wall if you have it. But you're just going to lay down with your legs swung up onto something. And you want to have your hips and knees at a 90-degree angle to your wall or to your chair, so that your hips and your psoas can just relax. So find yourself in some version of this shape, and you can wiggle around until you feel supported and held by the wall or the chair. And arms can just land where they land, whatever's comfortable. And just take the next minute or so to be with yourself, only in service of yourself. Eyes can be closed to support an internal focus. Or if you prefer to keep them open, just soften your gaze. And see if on the next breath out you can just release 5% more into the support underneath you. Letting the ground hold you up. And if you have the time, I encourage you to really hang out here as long as you like. This is a great pose to do even just in your bed when you get home from work. But if you gotta mosey on to your next thing, we're gonna come out of this slowly together, pull the knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze, and then roll to one side, and make your way back to seated. And bring your hands together over your own heart, bowing your head. And a gesture of gratitude to yourself for taking some time out to refill your cup. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me today. And thank you for all that you do. Hope to see you again soon. Namaste.